Good afternoon, financial professionals, and welcome to another edition of The Brew, where we build relationships every week. My name is John Florence, and I am Senior Vice President of Marketing here at E4 Insurance Services. On today's Brew, we welcome E4 Insurance's very own managing partners, Dan Peterson and Brendon DeRouin. They're going to be sharing with us today, reflection on the last quarter, the last 3 months of the year, as well as kind of taking a look at the year so far, the first 6 months of the year. So before we continue with that, we'd just like to remind you that you are free to use the chat box to share thoughts and ask questions. And also all attendees are in a drawing for a CE voucher and a Starbucks gift card, which we will be announcing at the end of the session today. Thanks for tuning in. So, guys, welcome back to The Brew. Saw you a few months ago, and here again to kind of just have a bit of a recap of what's been going on at E4 and within our industry. And so why don't we start off with you, Dan, and share with us a little bit about what some of the results that E4 has been experiencing and what's happening in the industry in general.
Sure, John. Great to be with you again today and to share a little bit about what's going on at E4 Insurance Services. We continue to have a growth mindset, and which Brendon will talk a little bit about, a recognition that we received earlier this year for some of the results that we're seeing. But those results, we continue to see some pretty outstanding growth in a number of our business lines that I'm happy to share. As the quarter ended and half a year is now behind us of 2023, our application count was up over 70% year over year, and that continues our strong growth in that area. So applications for insurance, annuities, all up. Our life target premium is up just shy of 10% year over last, and we had a strong year in 2022, so that's good to see. We did have a little bit of a slow start in January, but we've really accelerated that over the last four months, and have seen hitting our life goals now for year to date. The annuities is the real story, and we're up over 100% on annuities year over last. A lot of that, as you know, John, is due to the conversations and the discussions, safe money alternatives, the interest rate, seeing interest rates on MYGAs over 5%, whether that's 3 or 5 years. They had a lot of our advisors having that conversation about how do we reposition some of these at-risk assets into something, because the returns are so much better. So that conversation's been happening. We saw we're up over 50 million year over last year. So that's very strong results for all of our advisors and working in that market. The one area that's down a little bit year over last is the linked benefit area. And I think that's looking at numbers for other organizations as well, that seems to be consistent across the industry. I think advisors are not having as many planning discussions about their plans for long-term care as they are having discussions about safe money alternatives or interest rates, and just reacting to 5% money again, and how they're positioning those assets. So we're hopeful that the second half of the year will put an emphasis on rejoining those conversations, making sure that the planning is being done and that the alternatives for linked benefit and long-term care protection, that wealth protection is in place. So we'll look for that.
Really excellent. Those are phenomenal results, and congratulations to you and your team for posting those up so far this year. Brendon, can you share a little bit about some of the things that are maybe driving some of that growth? I know that we've seen some increases in our staff and particularly on your team. What's happening there? Tell us about some of the qualitative results that we're seeing.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess the one other thing that I would note in a recap of what Dan said is our inventory on all levels is very high as well. So we're hoping to continue with the tailwinds that we have. And we made a big push last year on the negative split mindset. So finishing second half faster than your first half. And I hope that we do that today. And one of the things that you're alluding to, John, is we have invested in staff, not only from the support side, but also for sales side. We have two new RVPs that have joined E4 in July, both Ted Gibbons and Mark Massey, to help, spread the word, spread the stories of what we're doing. Last year, we were recognized as the fastest growing Libra agency. So that is out of some 92 agencies. And I would like to continue that reign and be the fastest growing this year as well. And as Dan mentioned, we have a growth mindset. And so we are, not only investing in people, but hiring additional people. And on that investing with people, next week we have a sales retreat for our RVPs where we kind of look at it as iron sharpens iron. We're going to, come together, sharpen our saw, make ourselves better, take best practices from what, some RVPs are doing and enhance what everyone does and take that to the field. So, to Dan's point, we've had a lot of annuity growth. And I think one of the biggest, factors we have in every other line is just, time and attention. And, our advisors only have, so much time in a meeting and, the market's been turbulent and that's important, but, there are also risks that you can't just put off forever. So it's getting that focus on the other lines of what we do, make sure that gets covered as well.
So in the face of some of the market turbulence, maybe the conversations that are being had between advisors and their clients are maybe tending more toward the side of protection of assets. Dan, talk about that a little bit, if you would. What are some of the conversations besides obviously the conversations about safe money and the flows that we've seen going into MIGAs? What are some of the other kinds of conversations that are driving the growth that we're seeing, Dan?
Well, we've seen an increase this year in our guaranteed issue business, worksite guaranteed issue, where a number of advisors are focusing on making sure that the executive team or executive carve out enhancement to the benefits that the executives are seeing and the ease of doing business in a guaranteed issue format with life insurance. We're also we'll be talking a little bit more about the disability side, but that executive carve out, worksite marketing, we've seen a good uptick in that. We have companies now that go down to 10 lives with guaranteed issue, with term insurance even, which is, it makes the process a lot easier for that number of lives. And we see an increase in those conversations where advisors or insurance agents that work in group markets are able to go back to their customers and talk about enhancing the benefits of a select group of management.
Fantastic. Brendon, back in May, we had the 9th iteration of our BBT, Building Business Together meeting. Tell us a little bit about that and what happened there, and what was the outcome from that?
Well, John, that was on May the 4th, and we took went with the May the 4th be with you, went all in on the Star Wars theme. Many of our E4 staff were in costume, and some of our attendees were in costume as well. And I think it's to that point that we're trying to explain and cover all of the facets of the protection products that we have. We had close to 100 people or 100 advisors in the room. It was a great event, and we are happy to be out of the pandemic, happy to have education and in-person events and help help train our advisors on what they can do to make, their clients' financial situations and outcomes better using the insurance products we have. Dan mentioned on, the group carve out or executive benefits. One of the things that's great there is you can take a look at your total payroll cost, and for less than 1% or even sometimes less than 0.5%, you can have that executive benefit and provide additional value to your biggest performers. And it really doesn't have a meaningful effect on payroll, but it does on protecting those top performers, the C-suite and executives in the company. So it has been a great conversation to have, and we've seen a lot of success so far this year.
Fantastic. So you touched a little bit on what we did with the BBT, and coming up this fall, we're launching really another iteration of our sort of large format events for advisors. Tell us a little bit about what's coming up, because I'm sure those conversations like executive carve out will be part of that upcoming meeting as well.
Yeah, so as you said, we've done our 9th iteration of the BBT in Wisconsin, and we are an organization that has a home office in Fargo and one in Verona, Wisconsin, and we have a lot of advisors in the Fargo area that it's just been too far of a trek. So we are, not doing the BBT 2. We're, we're doing a savvy advisor solution, and again, we are going to do it at the Fargo Air Museum. We're going to take an air theme there, and with that, we're going to have some of our carrier partners. We're going to have industry experts present, and again, hone your craft, make our advisors better, and look forward to having that. Is the date September? It's like
September 28th.
28th. So if you're in the Fargo area or would love to make a trip, it's generally before blizzard season in Fargo, so I think it's safe to come. And we'd love to have you. As like all of our events, there's no cost for attendance. Just please arrive, and we'll host you for the day and hopefully educate you so you can be more successful with your clients.
Help you soar to success. Or
yes,
where's the theme? Up and away. I can't remember.
It is soaring to success.
Dan, we're running out a little bit of time here today, but I know that we have a really exciting announcement, and I think a lot of our advisors are going to be hearing a lot more about this coming up on the front of disability income insurance. You want to share a little bit about what's going on there?
Yes, we did some evaluation. Part of our strategic plan is continuing our growth and really also focusing on some key aspects of how we grow is to create a consistent, positive advisor experience. And one of the areas that we were inconsistent in was in the area of disability income. To be quite frank, we outsourced it, and we had some strategic partners that were assisting us with that line of business, which tends to have some real specialties, some knowledge base there. Underwriting, you're not just underwriting the health of an individual, you're also underwriting their work, their avocation, and there's different risk factors that go into that. So strategically, we looked at how can we enhance that side of it, and we're fortunate to be able to hire Brady Serold, former chief underwriter for disability income for the Standard, joined our team and last month, and we're bringing the DI line in-house so that we will have that consistent advisor experience, and we're excited about that rounding out, the life insurance, the long-term care, and linked benefit, annuities, and now disability income. We think we really have a four-legged stool, and we're really pleased with the direction of that business for us, and helping advisors not just protect the the wealth of their clients, but also because it's our health that helps us earn our wealth. And if the health goes, what have you done? What planning have you done? So it really helps us complete that planning process. So excited we have leadership there that's joined our team. And I know, John, you're planning a formal rollout of that. And I think that'll be coming. I think we have a brew upcoming in beginning of August where we'll introduce Brady to all of our advisors.
Yes, we do. We've got a kind of a whole calendar of events that we're putting together for August, and actually 3 of the brewcasts in the month of August will be dedicated toward kind of covering different aspects of the DI space. So we're looking forward to that and looking forward to introducing Brady Searle to all of you as we move forward. Well, guys, we've run out of time for this week on the brew. We certainly appreciate it. It sounds like there's really exciting things happening here, really a lot of great growth and a lot of great prospects for the remainder of the year ahead. And we'll look forward to sharing more of that news in the months ahead. Thank you both for being here today and for participating. Before we get going, I'm going to just check and see if there are any questions from anybody out in the audience. And while we're waiting to see that, I'd like to remind you that today's brew, as well as our entire library of brewcasts, are recorded and shared on the Brew blog on our website, as well as at our YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and look for E4 Insurance Services. Now for our giveaway, Dan or Brendan, how about Brendan? Pick a number between 1 and 25.
Well, we'll go with 25. I thought you were going to.
25. Let me see who we've got. And our winner today is Bill. So Bill, congratulations. Be on the lookout for a complimentary CE voucher and gift card from Starbucks. It'll be coming your way from all of us at E4 Insurance Services. Next week, we'll be taking a short break from the brew as most of our staff will be attending E4's annual sales retreat. But please join us again on July 26th. We will be welcoming M3 Financial's wealth advisor, Nick Natsky. Nick will be discussing fixed income alternatives and the options available with rising interest rate environment and unique distribution strategies. Thanks all for being here today, and we will see you in 2 weeks on the brew. Have a great day.